Your year has the potential to be really great. It does. But the key word there is potential. To make that potential a reality, it does require effort. And my first guest of the new year wants you to direct that effort toward your relationships. Studio 5 relationship contributor Dr. Matt Townsend has identified a core 4. So 4 relationships that he believes are most important to focus on in, can I say it again?
Yes.
2024.
Yes,
2024. Why do the even numbers feel better?
Well,
2024.
It has a nice role, and we're doing core 4 in 2024.
I love it.
It's an alliteration.
Core 4. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's a rhyme.
And I just...
Not to go grammar cop
Just keep
on you.
going.
Okay, roll with it. Roll with the core 4.
Yeah.
Core 4 in 2024. Define these 4 relationships. Like, what does this look like, the core 4?
There are certain things that make relationships flow and work. And I found that when we get the core 4 ideas in check and in health, then all of the other relationships seem to just roll better, flow better, and but they're not necessarily things you necessarily think are directly related to every relationship, but they're there all the time, and they're what create strength.
So we strengthen the core 4 that we'll outline today, and you will see residual effects in all other corners of your life.
And really all facets of your life. It's not even just about the relationships, it's just in how you can approach people and approach a new day with people that are sometimes difficult.
The ripple effect is real. Okay, we're jumping into the core 4 in 2024.
First relationship.
Your relationship with yourself.
Yep. You gotta like yourself. If you don't like you, the rest of the year is kind of over. Right?
Not to be a downer.
Not to be a downer, but if you really struggle with you, how do you relate to somebody if you don't like you? How do I interpret what you say if I don't like me? So here's some thoughts you can have is, how do you, when you look in the mirror, what do you think? What do you feel? Are you self-aware about what you need to improve, and are you actually seeing the good that you're doing? Are you only noticing all the negative of your life? And because if you do, you might feel really negative about yourself, and your relationship will be more negative. Do you see the good? And do you feel better? And can you identify every day one thing that you're really proud that you did? Because if we were doing that with ourselves and actually counting that little blessing and naming it and writing it down, it's going to change us. It's going to start to make us feel stronger in the core. Not
to throw backward to 2023, but I was chatting with a good girlfriend pre-Christmas about some awkward tensions she was anticipating at a Christmas party.
Ooh, yeah.
And we started to talk about, you know, if you're good, that all kind of goes away. The awkwardness or the failed expectations or if you're good, it doesn't matter what's happening with everyone else at the table.
Because when you're good, you interpret differently. And you give the benefit of the doubt. And you take the high road with people, and you're more forgiving, and you're less offendable. You're not as easily provoked. And so it really is, there's power there. And because if you're core to every relationship anyway, and you only have control over you, then let's just start there.
What's one thing then we could do, Matt, to center there or to be at ease or in a place of confidence with who we are?
Yeah, one of the greatest things I've found that gives me confidence is just accomplishing something. Just doing something. So even just getting in a regimen where you're trying to eat healthier, just doing that makes you feel better. Accomplishing something, correcting a goal, like fixing something this year that you really want to work on and starting to have just a little bit of success, and make sure you're looking for the success. Humans naturally kind of look for the negative side instead of the positive side. So another thing you can do is actually at the end of every day, write down the 2 or 3 successes that you had today and be grateful for it.
The second relationship you want us to square up, center on, is our relationship with our higher power.
Yeah. Everybody's got this higher power, whatever you call it. It could be God, it could be just the great power of earth, it could be chi, it could be all these different things that can drive us. And if you can somehow connect into purpose and meaning and peace through that power, or through just Mother Nature, or getting closer to your God, or praying, or meditating, or being present, or doing yoga, whatever you do to get there, all of a sudden it builds and it broadens your vision of the world, right? So
what a good way to say it.
If I know my purpose, then it impacts how I relate to people. If I know why I'm here, it impacts how I respond when somebody said something that was kind of rude. So if you don't necessarily have that relationship with something that brings you this peace, let's just start looking for it in 2024.
I love that. I love that. The next core 4 relationship is the relationship that weighs on you, that keeps popping in your head.
Yeah, there's something about us, because we are all members of communities. And because you're a member of community, and I think that especially if you've done the first two things we've talked about, if you're in a good relationship with yourself, if you're connected to your higher power, you're going to have access to the community. You're going to know at certain times who needs a call, who needs a friend, who needs you to check up on them. So when somebody prompts or some prompting comes up and some thought pops into your mind, I don't want you to just negate it. I don't want you to talk yourself out of it. If you think, I really ought to call mom, call mom. If you think, I really feel like I need to catch up with this person, go catch up with them. I had a young men's leader once when I was 16 that changed my life forever. He literally changed my life forever. And I mean, he got me to go to college. When I didn't think I ever would, he became a surrogate father for me. He did everything for me. But then we hadn't talked for years. And then I got the prompting, this just idea, I need to call Bart. So I called Bart and we went to dinner and it changed my year. It's the most powerful thing in the world. Here's the trick. The second you have the prompting, your brain is going to make up reasons not to. It's going to start saying, you don't need it. We'll get him tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow.
Or I think for women, a lot of times it's you created that crazy. Not crazy, but you created that to-do or that drama. That's right. In your own mind.
Now, the irony of that is if it's right, if it's the right thing to do, it's not crazy or drama.
Yeah.
If it's coming up, and especially if it keeps coming up,
yeah.
Then what you do, the minute the idea or the thought comes into your head, instead of immediately making up excuses, just start counting backwards from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, act. And just act on it. So this is something Mel Robbins teaches. She calls it the 5-second rule. And the minute you have a prompting to do anything good, count backwards from 5, and your brain knows what to do next. And it's intentional, and it takes it so you can't go make up excuses, and you get down to 1, and then go do the most immediate act on whatever you need to do.
I never tire of hearing those stories, whether it be in casual conversation or church or whatever. I never tire of hearing, I had the thought, I did it, and then.
And it worked.
Because they're small and simple, but they often have significant benefits.
That's right. And what you're going to see is it's going to reinforce for you that you are a member of community.
Yeah.
And that the community's bigger than you know, and there's more information than you actually think you have access to.
And we need each other.
And we need each other.
We need each other.
Yep.
Okay, the fourth relationship in this Core 4 challenge, this one's a little more tender.
Yeah.
You're pointing us to the relationship that might need some help or some healing.
Every one of us has some relationship that's been abandoned, or we've discouraged, or we've hurt, or we've harmed, or they've harmed us. And what I would just suggest is start thinking about the one that we need to heal. What relationship needs some healing? And don't think you have to immediately jump in and do something fully. I don't have to go talk to you to heal a relationship. What I could do first is just start reframing what happened. I could start trying to give the benefit by just asking, why would a loving, decent, caring person do that thing? Why would they ignore me on that one day that was so important? Why would they do such a thing? So try to reframe. One way I like to get my clients to kind of get going on this is to just get the emotions out. If your brain has a thought and you don't act on it, then it keeps stewing in the juices of the thought. So I'd want you to just act on it any way you can. One of the best ways to act is just write down everything you're feeling. And if it's ugly and venomous, write it all out. Get it out of you as if you're writing them a letter. Tell them everything that needs to be said, and then you never have to send the letter. But a lot of the energy will be out. Let it sit for a while until you can kind of see more clearly and know what to do next.
I love that advice and that interpretation, because when we hear the word heal, when we hear the phrase heal the relationship, we think it requires them.
Let's go do it.
But you're saying it can start with you. The work is here.
It's all in you anyway, right?
Right.
Yeah, and we can't control how they respond. So don't assume that the healing has to be based on how they respond.
Yes.
The healing's going to come when you're doing all you can to heal your side of it.
That's so good. Matt, what a way to
Power
start
there.
the year.
Right.
Core 4 in
2024.
2024. All right. We're celebrating that message. We're also celebrating that we can officially say your Valentine's date night is next month.
Yes.
It's next month.
On Valentine's Day evening. I don't know that this is a good idea, because I think some people just want to sit home with their kids, right? No, they want to get out. So if you want to get out, Wednesday, February 14th, 7 to 9 at Murray High. You got to just go to matttownsend.com. But this is where bring your friends. If your parents, bring your kids that are married and or newly engaged. Get everyone you can there. It's so fun. About 1,000, 1,200 people hang out, and we laugh. And we're going to be focusing on some of the core things that tend to spin our relationships out and how to kind of start working on your issues that are core.
Mark and I look forward to this every year. You leave just feeling stronger and better and with some tangible tools. You laugh a lot, too.
Awesome.
So it's all good. Matt,
and you
thank
might
you
get
so
a kiss.
I mean, there could
for
be
2024.
On Valentine's Day, I would hope so.
Yeah, you might.
I would hope so. All right, MattTownsend.com is where you go. Thank you, friend.
Thanks,
Happy
Brett.
New Year to
You
you.
too.